What's up? I'm Josh, and today I wanted to talk to you about some tips on how to set yourself up for success in college. My first tip is to supplement your major in some way. You have a bunch of options on how you can do this. Minors are a great option that can be added on to pretty much any major. They can be totally unrelated to your major, or you could tie it in somehow. For example, I am a strategic communications major, but I'm also minoring in film and in business. I think these programs will add to the value of my major, but they're not entirely related. I also think these minors will provide me with useful life skills to use throughout my future. Another lesser known option is something called certificates. They're usually offered through the program that you're a part of, and they can be super specific in topic. They're not as intensive usually, and each one can have its own vastly different set of requirements. And another way to supplement your major is through different programs offered through companies. For example, earlier this year through one of my business courses, I had to get certified in Google Analytics. Now this is something I put on my resume, and it adds human capital to my resume. Another super important aspect of setting yourself up for success is getting real-world experience. There's a variety of ways that you can do this. Probably the most common one is internships. These are awesome because it gives you a sneak peek at what the work world looks like in real life. And there's a bunch of ways to figure out about these, whether it be through a connection through a friend, LinkedIn, Handshake. There's a bunch of ways to get internships, and they're super useful for providing real world experience. Now, shadowing is awesome because it's usually not as intensely involved as an internship, for example. You're following someone around. It can be much more casual. It doesn't have to be a specific amount of time. You can go shadow someone for a week, a month. But the important thing is that you get to understand what their job is like from their perspective. Another tip to learn about the work world is just to cold call people. This was something that I did super often last year when I found someone that I thought was doing something interesting. I would just find their LinkedIn account and ask them if they'd be interested in having a conversation. And then I'd eventually call them up and I'd have a few questions prepared, and I would just ask them about their experience, if they had any advice for me, and how they got to where they were. Calling people is super useful because anyone can do it. You just need to find that connection that you want to talk to, and people can provide really interesting insights. I've learned so much just through discussing with people, and I think it's super important to see what some people are experiencing in the workplace if that's the thing that you want to go into. Another advantage of cold calling people is that it's super easy to do in times like this where we can't meet face-to-face with other people, so internships and shadowing opportunities may not present themselves as often. Another way to set yourself up for success is to do cool things and meet cool people. Now, this may sound like a kind of odd point, but I promise it has some meaning to it. By doing cool things, whether this just be, mountain biking or going out adventuring in some way, you usually meet cool people who are doing similar things. And cool people doing cool things usually have cool ideas. And if they have cool ideas, usually things happen with cool ideas. Now, these cool things can be things within the workplace. Maybe they have really innovative ideas. Maybe they have a job that's super cool and interesting. By doing cool things and meeting cool people, it also balances out the stressful or more mundane times of just doing the homework, studying, going to classes. I think everyone needs a little bit of a break from the routine in their life, and by doing cool things and hopefully doing them with cool people, you expose yourself to new opportunities, new learning experiences, and ultimately you get to add some enjoyment to your life. My final tip for setting yourself up for success in college is to take some time to yourself. Take some time for the things that you really value. This could be self-care, whether it be working out, getting a massage, taking a break day, going on a walk and clearing your head. It's always going to be hard to be productive if you're stressing out over everything. By making time for yourself, you afford yourself the opportunity to rest, for your brain to think. A lot of great ideas also come when you're able to rest and just let your brain sit for a moment. See, it's important to give yourself breaks too, so you don't burn yourself out and you continue to work hard the next day. Hopefully these tips were of some use to you guys. Thanks for watching. Peace.